Part 3 of exercise 6, shape of the titration curve. A part of the titration result is given in the following way. VA equal 0 milliliter, pH equal 12.2, then 12.2 is the initial pH. For volume of acid added equal to 11.2 milliliter, pH equal X, and for volume 20 milliliter, pH equal Y. 3.1, based on chemical species present at X1, specify the value of X. X is the value of pH at volume added equal 11.2. 11.2 represents what for this titration? It represents the volume added at X1. Then 11.2 is the volume at X1. Then X is the pH at X1, which should be equal to 7. But how can we explain its value? Why pH equals 7 at 11.2? Part 3.1. V A equal 11.2 milliliter is the volume of acid added at X1. Then X equal to the pH at X1. At X1, the chemical species present are we have Na plus from the strong base NaOH, Cl minus from the strong acid HCl, and H2O. H3O plus and HO minus are transformed into HO. These are the chemical species. Na plus and Cl minus are spectator or indifferent ions. Nor acid nor base. It remains water H2O, which is neutral. Then pH equal 7, and therefore X equal 7. Now, part 3.2 show that Y equal 2, knowing that the volume of distilled water added to immerse the electrode of pH meter is 70 milliliters. We should calculate Y, the pH, when we added 20 milliliters of the acid. That means after the equivalence, the H2O plus is in excess, the medium is acidic, pH equals negative log concentration H3O plus. Then we should calculate the concentration of H3O plus in the solution and therefore deduce the pH, which should be equal to 2. مثل ما تعلمنا بآخر فقرة بالدرس. (3.2) at VA equal 20 milliliter, bigger than VE, but H3O plus is in excess in this case. We calculate the concentration, the number of mole of HO minus, which equals CB times VB. That means C1 times V1. C1 equal, by calculation, C1 equals 0.112. 0.112. V1 equal 10 milliliter. That means 10, 10, negative 3. That means number of mole of HO minus added to the beaker will 1.1 to 10 negative 3 mole. Number of mole of H3O plus added till 20 milliliter equal C2 times V2. C2 is 0.1, V2 equal 20 times 10 negative 3. Then we added 2 10 negative 3 mole. The equation of the reaction between HO minus and HO plus, the titration reaction, equal give 2H2O. Number of mole added for each reactant. For HO minus, we added 1.1 to 10 negative 3 mole. For HO plus, we added 2 10 negative 3 mole. Since after the equivalence HO, there is no HO minus, then HO minus is the limiting reactant. At the end of the reaction, after addition of 20 milliliter, there is no HO minus. Number of mole of HO plus, which is in excess, the excess of HO plus, that means the left, equal 2 10 negative 3 minus 1.12 10 negative 3 equal 0.88 10 negative 3 mole. This is the number of mole of H2O plus in the solution when we add 20 milliliter of HCl. Then concentration of H3O plus equal number of mole of H3O plus over total volume V total equal 0.8810 negative 3. Our V total is the volume of base, which is 10, the volume of acid, which is 20, and the volume of distilled water added to immerse the electrode of pH meter, which is 70. In total, we multiply by 10 negative 3. Equal 0.88 over 100 equal 8.810 negative 3 mole per liter. This is the concentration of H3O plus in the solution at when we added 20 milliliter of HCl. The pH equal negative log concentration H3O plus equal negative log 8.810 negative 3 equal to what?
It says تطلع 2.05.
يعني تقريبا 2 مثل ما هو قايلنا, which is y. Then y equal 2. إذا حلنا 3.2. Now 3.3, plot the shape of the curve pH equal function of the A within the interval of volume 0 20. From 0 to 20, we should plot the shape of the curve. The final point is 20y, 22. Take the following as scale. Axis 1 centimeter for 2 milliliter. Coordinate 1 centimeter for 1 unit of pH. أنا كنت راسمها فيش داعي نضيع وقت. أكيد أنتوا بترسموها بالبيت. New page. هلا السكيل خلى الرسمه تطلع هيك لانه اخذنا كل 1 سنتيمتر 2 مللتر طلع 20 ملي بيطلعوا 10 سم. طلعت الرسمه زينه هيك. لو ماخذينها كل 1 سم 1 مللتر كانت تطلع اعرض بتطلع اجمل شويه الرسمه. اذا هيدي هي الانيشال بوينت از 0 0 وين ماشي. Okay, the initial point is when VA equals 0, pH equals 12.2. The equivalence point second point, equivalence point, when volume equal 11.2, pH equal 7. And home, not a minimal limit, it is a final point. Final point is when V equal 20 and pH equal 2. So the curve should be formed of 3 parts descending. The first part, the pH decreases slowly, and the curve forms a flat line. Second part, pH decreases rapidly, jump of pH, and the curve has an equivalence inflection point, which is the equivalence point. The third part, the pH decreases slowly again, and it forms another flat line till the final point at V A equal 20 milliliter and pH equal 2. This is part 3.3, and this is the end of chapter of exercise 6. Now, exercise 7. Study of a scale removal WC net. On the label of a scale removal WC net, the following information is noted. Contains hydrochloric acid 13.5% by mass. Little flash. The determination of the density of this liquid gives the following value: D equal 1, density equal 1.07 gram per milliliter. The purpose of this exercise is to verify the indication 13% by mass, 13.5% by mass, by calculation using pH meter. مثل السؤال اللي قبل، بس السؤال اللي قبل كان strong base بدنا نتأكد منه، هون strong acid بدنا نتأكد من percentage. Part 1, dilution of the scale removal. Part 1 show according to the above indication that the concentration of hydrochloric acid in the scale removal is C0 equal 3.92 mole per liter. راح نصلحها 3.95 مش 9. على كل حال. Exercise 6. We have S0 of hydrochloric acid solution, commercial solution, percentage by mass equal 13.5%, density equal 1.07 gram per milliliter, and molar mass was 35.5 gram per mole. Using these three information, we should calculate C0, 1. First, the percentage by mass equal mass of solute over mass of solution times 100 equal. We replace mass of solute by number of mole times molar mass and 100 over mass of solution density times volume. As we know, number of mole over volume is the initial concentration equals C0 times molar mass times 100 over density. We need to calculate C0, then C0 equals percentage times density over molar mass times 100. Percentage equals 13.5 times density 1.07. Density should be in gram per liter. We multiply it by 1,000. Our molar mass 35.5 times 100. نضرب calculation على اسمه. انت بيطلع الجواب
أستاذ طلع معي 4.069.
نرجع نتأكد شوي لو سمحت. نعم
بيطلع مثل ما قالت فاطمة.
4
إيه
في شيء غلط. 13.5 الظهور
أستاذ المولر ماس 36 مش 35.
36.5 أنا مغلط. أوكي حقكم علي. 36.5 هلا تأكدوا لي منها.
3.95.
3.95 mole per liter. Okay. 1.2 To perform the titration of the above scale removal, it is required to dilute this solution for 50 times. Choose among the following list the convenient glassware used to perform this dilution. Justify your answer. Before choosing the glassware, we should find the relation between V and V0. We have S0 of concentration C0. We should take a volume V0 to prepare a solution S of C and V and F equal 50 times. Then, after dilution, number of mole of solute is conserved. That means N0 solute equal N solute, then C0 V0 equal CV. Therefore, F equals C0 over C equal V over V0 equal 50. V is the capacity of volumetric flask. V0 is the capacity of pipette. We should choose a volumetric flask and volumetric pipette, their quotient equal to 50. First, if we choose the 100 milliliter volumetric flask and the 5 milliliter pipette, 100 over 5 equal 20, less than 50, then 100 milliliter is not correct. We choose 200, 200 over 5 equals 40, also 200 is not correct. 500 over 5 equal 100, bigger than 50, then 5 is not correct. 510 equal 50, then the correct glassware are 500 volumetric flask and 10 milliliter volumetric pipe. We say for volume V equal 500, if we need to prepare 500 milliliter of the solution S, then what equal V0? V0 equals from this relation V over 50 equal 500 over 50 equal 10 milliliter. Then we should use the glassware first volumetric pipette 10 milliliter and volumetric flask 500 milliliter. Part 2, carrying out titration. A volume VA equal 10 milliliter of solution SA is titrated with a sodium hydroxide solution of concentration CB equals 7.8, 10 negative 2. 2.9, write the equation of the titration reaction and calculate its constant Kr. Constant Kr is not needed in this year. فنلغيها، هذه مش مطلوبة. Calculate its. إذا بس write the equation of titration. 2 عندنا table plot the on the graph. حل 1 و 2 2 1 و 2 2 مع بعض، بس خلينا نكتب الجبن BA 10 و CA 7.8. Then part 2, we have hydrochloric acid solution HCO plus Cl minus of Ca to be determined. We take Va equal 10 milliliter. We titrate it with using sodium hydroxide solution of Cb equal 7.810 negative 2, 7.810 negative 2 mole per liter. VBE from the graph 2.1, the equation of titration HCO plus HO minus completely accumulates to H2O. Part 2.2, the graph. أنا كنت راسمها كمان الجراف. Therefore exercise 7 احنا exercise 7 عم نشتغل من هيدي. This is the graph مع البارت 2 3 اللي هي الاكفالنس بوند. طلعت الاكفالنس بوند 10.9 VBE والبي اتش اي equal 6.8. هلا هون الرسمه منه ضيقه شوي مش عندي من التيبل على الاكوفنس حاطط مش يعني اذا تشوفوا التيبل لما وصل الاكوفنس بين ال 10 ونص و11 ونص الجامب اوف بي اتش بدل ما يكون معطينا ارقام قريبه لبعض بالعكس بعضهم مع بعض صار في الجامب اوف بي اتش 12 دقيقه كثير. على كل حال مثل ما معطينا التيبل هيك بتطلع الرسمه 2.3 231. بدي حل لعند ال 232 ونوقف اليوم. 231 the coordinate of the Ekman bond by the parallel tangent method موجودة على الرسمة. طلعت لما نقول له a new page 2 1 according to the graph VBE equal بالجراف اللي قبل 10.9 and PHE equal 6.8. ممكن التايتريشن مش عاملينها على 25 degree. نحن بنعرف انه كل ما كان temperature increases pH increases. فالنيوتراليتي pH of neutrality increases يعني PKW increases. sorry KW increase PKW decrease. يعني النيوتراليتي ممكن يكون على 37 درجة بصير النيوتراليتي هي 6.8. 2.32 the concentration of solution SA. دائما بس يطلب لنا السوليوشن بدنا نشتغل الكونسنتريشن بدنا نشتغل at equivalence. At equivalence the number of mole of H3O plus introduced equal number of mole of HO minus added introduced to beaker. هلا اذا قطعت الكهرباء عند حدا منكم وبطل موجود معنا وصلنا ناخذ الحضور عن بالاول. اوكي ماشي الحال. هلا number of mole of HCO plus replaced by CaVA equal CbVBE. Then Ca equal CbVBE over VA equal Cb 7.8, 10 negative 2. BBE is 10.9 over 10 equal 8.5, 10 negative 2 mole per liter. 2.33. Deduce according to the titration result the percent by mass of HCl in the scale removal WC net. We should calculate C0 first. C0 equal C times 50. CA equal 8.5, 10 negative 2 times 50 equal 4.25 mole per liter. Now, percent by mass equals mass. We have proved the relation. Here, then we can write directly the percent by mass equals C0 times molar mass times 100 over density equal C0 times molar mass times 100 over density. C0 equal 4.25, molar mass 36.5 times 100 over density equal to 1.07 equal 14.5%. Now, specify if the information on the label is verified when the accepted range of error is up to 5%. The label information is percent by mass 13.5. The obtained is 14.5. Then we calculate the percent error equal density obtained 14.5 experimental minus density given 13.5 over the given density 13.5 times 100 equal 7.4%, bigger than 5%, then the label information is not